then we can finish that.
When you drop John's laundry out, it's coming up from the water. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
It's 5 years ago, they
No.
jumped on the chair.
I can add after. Then we talked about that before or something.
Oh, you're one up on me then.
Okay. Once in a while, we get I appreciate it. I'm ready anytime you want to start. Okay. All right, you ready to go?
I haven't heard today, so.
All right, let's call to order the workshop meeting for February 7th, 2023. Roll call please. Councilmember Stoya. Councilmember Valenta. Here. Councilmember Stoya. Councilmember Nichols. Here. Councilmember at-large D'Amico. Here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Still kind of delayed.
I know, they got
Got it.
All right, we'll come back once the mayor comes back around for communications from the mayor. Let's go to communications from the public and petitions. Number one, request from Dunkirk Middle School Student Council Advisor, Mrs. Lugo Alfaro, and Mr. Atkinson to have one uniformed officer present during the middle school dance on Saturday, February 18, 2023, from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. to support the supervising staff. Any discussion, council? Hearing none. Number two. Request from Tim Dovias on behalf of the First Ward Falcon Club to use the stadium and School 7 softball fields from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. on Saturday, May 13th, 2023 for the Early Bird Fast Pitch Softball Tournament. Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none, let's go to three. Number three, request from Tim Dovias on behalf of the First Ward Falcon Club to use the stadium, School 7, and Cook's softball fields on July 14, 15, and 16 of 2023 from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. for the annual First Ward Falcon Fast Pitch Softball Tournament. Any discussion, council? Hearing none. Number four. Request from the Waterfront Foundation to use the large pavilion at Point Gratiot for Chavetta's Barbecue fundraiser on Friday, June 2nd, 2023. Set up to start at 11 a.m. with dinner sold from 2 till 6 p.m. Yes. Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none. Lastly, number five. Loudspeaker permit request from Tim Doliak for the bandstand to use speakers and audio from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Promin Schenkel Stadium during the First Ward Falcons annual Fast Pitch Tournament on July 14th, 2023. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Reports of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilwoman, let's go here. Okay. Councilman Bomano? Councilman Stoya? Councilwoman Nichols? I don't have anything either. How about unfinished business? Have none, sir. Okay. Pre-filed resolution number 11. Resolution authorizing budget line modifications for fiscal year 2023. Any discussion, council? Okay, hearing none, we'll go to new business walk-in. I have a walk-in resolution number 12, 2023. Authorizing professional services contract for the July 4th fireworks display. Any discussion, council? Okay. And then can I have a motion to go into executive session for a potential contract negotiation? I got Nichols with a seconded by Romano. Clerk call the roll. Councilmember Skoviak.
Aye.
Councilmember Damanto. Aye. Councilmember Stoya. Aye. Councilmember Nichols. Aye. Councilmember at-large D'Amico. Aye, carried.
Okay, so we, Mark and Marcia, Iris and Mike.
You can see a leaf on half.
Mike. And Mike is mayor.
No, so we.
Next Wednesday.
Oh, it's not, man.
Listen to co-counsel, things might be out. There's Jake. Usually we unplug it. I didn't see Roger. I haven't seen Roger, no. I can't hang out with you. I'm just looking for Martin trouble. Who? I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? I know they're working on. Okay, you want to get in this one?
And then all the rest can pretty much be just standard.
Yep.
The very, very last person doesn't own insurance.
This is.
I know, I get to insurance approved for years. I choose to say this because
Are you gonna have?
it's subject to appropriation.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't need it.
Let's call to order the regular meeting for February 7th, 2023 at 5:32 PM. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Laskoviac.
Here.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Here.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Here.
Councilmember Nichols.
Here.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
You're gonna talk to the mayor if this is done. It's in the town, it's under anyway. Well, so would I. Should have been on. Like Williams at 60. But,
You need help, Lillian?
if they're not gonna build it, just take it up to Athena's. They ain't using it. I know. Why build a building before your drug can get approved? The place is spotless. I know. They're good.
No.
We having a communication problem? Are we having a communication problem? Nobody can hear anyway. Equipment? malfunction.
I think we should trade.
But it's out here, but at my house or my brother's. I know. They get no volume. I know.
Tim, go there.
No, man. Messages on my phone. You gotta, if you can get to YouTube, you can hear us. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually put it together. It was cool. I'll talk to you.
Yeah. Needed batteries.
Okay. 12,000 volts in it. Yeah, this is not welded together. It needs bolts. Okay, certification of the prior meeting.
This is to certify that an official copy of the minutes of the Common Council meeting of Tuesday, January 17, 2023 was presented to the mayor on Wednesday, January 25, 2023. Pursuant to Section 3.03 of the Dunkirk City Charter, all items presented to the mayor are now in full force and effect. In witness whereof I have hereto set my hand in the seal of the City of Dunkirk, New York, the 7th day of February, 2023.
Can I have a motion to dispense?
So moved. Second.
I got a motion by Stoyl, a second by Nichols.
Councilmember Laskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Reading of the privilege of the floor regulations.
The privilege of the floor shall be extended to any person appearing for themselves, in which case that individual shall be limited to 3 minutes, and to any person representing a group who shall be limited to 5 minutes. When recognized, please stand and state your name and address. The city clerk shall have the duty of maintaining these time limits, and the councilman at large may determine in his discretion whether individuals are speaking for themselves or representing groups. Councilman at large D'Amico shall maintain good order and may require any speaker to cease speaking if remarks are made in bad taste or are slanderous or non-germane to any action taken or contemplated by council. The time limit specified shall be strictly adhered to, except that a speaker may be allowed to complete a statement or thought started before such time has expired.
Privilege of the floor is now open. If anyone would like to speak. Okay, going once, twice,
Beautiful.
3 times. Privilege of the floor is now closed. Communication from the mayor, including disapproval messages? Nothing. Okay. Communication from the public and petitions?
Number 1, request from the Dunkirk Middle School Student Council Advisor, Mrs. Lugo Alfaro, and Mr. Atkinson to have one uniformed officer present during the middle school dance on Saturday, February 18, 2023, from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. to support the supervising staff.
Any discussion, council? Hearing none, I need a motion to refer to the PBA.
So moved.
I got Nichols, seconded by Laskovic.
Councilmember Laskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. 2.
Number 2, request from Tim Dovias on behalf of First Ward Falcon Club to use the stadium and School 7 softball fields from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. on Saturday, May 13, 2023 for the Early Bird Fast Pitch Softball Tournament.
Any discussion, council? I need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approved subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions. I believe that was Councilwoman Laskoviak. Who was the second?
Stoyl.
Stoyl?
Councilmember Laskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 3, request from Tim Dovias on behalf of the First Ward Falcons Club to use the Stadium, School 7, and Cook softball fields on July 14, 15, and 16, 2023 from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. for the annual First Ward Falcons Fast Pitch Softball Tournament.
Any
So
discussion? I need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments. Go ahead. Yes.
Fight.
This is an annual tournament the Falcons been doing for years and years, and Tim Dovias, who is in attendance tonight, is spearheading that for years and years and years. I'm glad you're out there trying to keep this tournament going. We wish you the best of luck, and if you need anything from us going forward when that time comes, please let us know. Good luck.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other discussion? Okay, if not, can I get a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approved subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions? I got Stoyles with a second by Bomano.
Councilmember Laskowiak.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 4, request from the Waterfront Foundation to use the large pavilion at Point Gratiot for a Chevette's Barbecue fundraiser on Friday, June 2nd, 2023, set up to start at 11 a.m. with dinners sold from 2 to 6 p.m.
Any discussion, council? Not, I need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as the approval subject to appropriate insurances and usual conditions.
So moved.
Councilwoman Letskoviac, seconded by Nichols.
Councilmember Laskoviac,
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto,
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl,
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols,
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried.
Number 5, loudspeaker permit request from Tim Dovias for the band to use speakers and audio from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. at Promenchenko Stadium during the First Ward Falcons Annual Fast Pitch Tournament on July 14, 2023.
Any discussion, council? Okay, I need a motion to refer to the appropriate departments as well as approval.
So moved.
I got Nichols with a second by Stoyl.
Councilmember Laskoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Okay, reports of standing committees, boards, and commissions. Councilwoman Letskoviac.
Yes, I have a question for Randy and Mike. Would you kindly address the issue of missing lights, its repairs and replacements, new poles versus old poles? In the First Ward on streets near Wright Park, such as Serval, citizens have been reaching out. Thank you.
Yeah, so the streetlights that are out are going to be addressed here directly. We were waiting on a few arms and a few other logistics with disconnects and that. The company's coming in tomorrow to have a pre-meeting, and then we're going to get working on disconnects and moving streetlights and replacing streetlights that were damaged during storms and that. So in the next, little bit here, everything should be taken care of.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is this something that you are doing, going forth with twice a year? It's not as need basis, but maybe getting a group rate or something, or?
Well, this part of the project, to complete the LED upgrade in the city, they have to add disconnects that have the streetlights. So that's commencing, and while those guys are here doing that, we're going to have them replace and move lights that need to be moved and replaced. Then moving forward, we have a plan in place to fix them on an as-needed basis.
Okay, moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. The City of Dunkirk Hero banner program still has spots left. Please go to cityofdunkirkherobannerprogram.com to submit an application and picture if you wish to participate. It's a fully protected website, so make sure your cache is cleared when you submit the application. The library is helping people too. Just call them to make an appointment and they will help to submit an application and the picture. You can always send that information, the application and the picture, to the committee at dunkirkherobanners@yahoo.com. Both the website and the email are on the City of Dunkirk's website. And today, after the council meeting, the Stadium Revitalization Committee will meet with the council along with the DPW and Parks directors in order they can discuss the slow demise of the two ballparks, one in Wright Park and one at the Point. Last year, we had tournaments that brought in a lot of out-of-town people who noticed these ballparks were by the lake and were amazed. They also noted the ballparks were below par. We need to invest some time to bring the well-used ballparks over the last few decades up to par to match our wonderful lake view. They will have a list of concerns right after this meeting today that cost little to no money that need repair or some attention. And I know the DPW, we have half the staff we've had, and I know you're overwhelmed and doing a wonderful job, but we would like to bring these concerns to your attention. And then thank you, Mayor, for your communication abilities, and along with city employees of the Economic Development Department for your tireless and consistent applications year after year for the DRI grant. Our downtown will be revitalized. Vince, do you wish to give a concise timeline of what to expect?
Well, there's no real concise timeline. So basically, it's a 10-step process. We're at step 3, Governor announcing DRI to receive assistance for planning and projects. So I just want to make it clear that the city does not receive a check for $10 million and then decide on how to spend it. It's going to be a process that will be established through consultants. The state will provide $300,000. This is for every city that gets it. They decide which planning and engineering firm will come to Dunkirk and basically take a very deep dive into the community, look at the projects, try to come up with a cohesive vision and strategy for revitalization. A local planning committee will be established to hear project proposals. That local planning committee will basically give recommendations for projects for consideration for a whole nother plan that's basically developed. It's called a strategic investment plan. That should be about 6 months from when the process starts. From there, strategic investment plan is developed, sent to the state, and hopefully by the end of the year we should have a list of projects that will be funded and chosen for this. Some of them will be municipal in nature, such as streetscape type projects, improvements to city-owned municipal properties, such as on the waterfront, municipal park, marina, and so forth. And then the private development projects, each project will be contracted through that individual developer, project sponsor doing the project, and the state agency will be chosen that will lead that project. So Department of State will be involved, and various other economic development agencies throughout the state. So it's going to be a year process. There probably won't be any projects that'll even begin for another year. So that's just.
How about the Restore grant?
Well, the city has received an award for $1 million to restore 2 buildings on Central Avenue, the former P&G Market, and 423 to 427 Central Avenue to rehab the commercial space on the ground floor, and apartments will be developed on the upper level, which is all part of our comprehensive plan to create density in our downtown area. So that one, the project will need to be completely completed before reimbursement could be sought by the private developer and through the city. We have put in a second round of Restore New York application that went in on January 27th for what we've been discussing, a proposed water park. And that was for a special project, $5 million application, and you know, we're very hopeful that we'll at least receive something that could contribute to the development and keep moving, at least to determine the feasibility of this project and see if it can be constructed mostly with private funding.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm all set.
Thank you. Councilmember Mano.
Yes, Mike, speaking of lights, is there any timetable when we're going to get lighting up on Central Avenue near the fairgrounds?
That's going to happen as part of this round. Yeah,
Okay,
we have everything we need now to finish that project, so that should happen pretty quick here.
okay, great, thanks.
Yes, sir.
And as far as the people that are going to be involved in the stadium and the point ball fields, and spearheaded by Natalie and Mr. Sleva out there and Mr. Dovias, appreciate you guys coming forward. I mean, you're taking your time out to do this. I know you guys' hearts are in the softball fields down there, and they do need some work, and we'd be looking forward to your feedback. I did speak to Ryan Hall yesterday, and we had a couple ideas bouncing around, so when you guys get a more firm thing and narrow it down what you want to do, and we'll work with you. That's all I got.
Thank you. Councilman Stoyl.
Yeah, this morning, departments, 3 different departments met concerning public safety. This was just a preliminary meeting of these guys, just to update our plans for disasters like what happened in Buffalo with that blizzard, what's going on now in Ohio with this train wreck. And I believe our captain is putting together an idea of what's going to come forward. And hopefully when that gets done, there'll be another update. The departments that were involved were the Public Works, the Fire Department, and the Police Department. That's all I got.
Thank you. Councilwoman Nichols.
Yes, Randy, the railroad crossing on Route 60 or Lamfair coming into the city heading northbound, is there any way that somebody can get a hold of them to do some checking on it? The tracks on the east side going into the city they're terrible. Motorists are going over, passing the fog line lane to avoid losing everything in their vehicles. It's just, they're very rough. And I don't know if you can reach out or if somebody can reach out to them for them to come and do an inspection on it.
Sure, Councilwoman. I'd like to thank you for bringing that to my attention earlier last week. And in the meantime, I've had engineering technician Bone write a letter to the New York State Department of Transportation regional engineer in Mayville, who we have a really good working relationship with, because that actually is New York State Route 60. And it's their jurisdiction and their responsibility to talk to, there's two railroad tracks that cross right there. There's Norfolk Southern, there's CSX. And the CSX tracks are probably worse than the Norfolk Southern. That is one of the routes that has the reduced noise level at night. And we had to do an update to the study in the summertime, so I am familiar with which that is. Of all the roads that get crossed in the city, that gets about 9,000 vehicles a day. And a great portion of those are large trucks. As you pointed out, are probably doing the damage. So we've asked the DOT, we're going to monitor that. We'll work with them. City workers can't work within several feet of the tracks. It's a federal law. So we can't do anything ourselves, but we can push, as you mentioned, and I appreciate the push, and we're pushing too. So we'll work with them, and we know the traffic counts. The only other road that's even close to that, and it's 1/3, is Roberts Road. And the other roads that lead there are probably 1/3 of that. So good point, and we've got it in motion to push it, and we'll follow through.
And how receptive do you think they will be on coming out this way to take a look at it? I'm just worried about somebody coming back and saying that they had X amount of dollars damage to their vehicles because of it.
I would think the State Department of Transportation would share your concern for the same reasons.
Okay, thanks,
It's their
Randy.
responsibility.
Also, Randy, do you know when we might be able to look at how much money we would be getting through the CHIPS program for repaving our streets?
Sure, got that right in front of me. Last year, we got about $250,000 in the CHIPS program. We won't find out exactly until the state budget is approved. So that comes out. There are 4 payment schedules during the year. We're just putting in one on the 10th. Mike and Pam and Andy have to file for the March reimbursement that will really pretty much let us collect what we spent in 2022. We have to give canceled check copies that are dated on or before February 3rd. So we have all of those, and we'll be able to collect what we got last year. And then we'll find out, I'm sure we'll get at least $250,000. Mayor Rosas has been able to work with Albany in prior years, and we've had 3 additional lines added to CHIPS in those prior years. I can't guess what we're going to have, but Mike and Tim Gatoka and Andy and I, we try to go to the monthly meetings. The CHIPS program is a big factor with the Chautauqua County Highway Association, the State Highway Association. We lobby very heavily for that. So we won't get anything less than the major CHIPS program of $250,000. We hope to get more in the other categories as well. We'll let you know when as that progresses. But we're lobbying on the city's behalf for that. A few years ago, we were able to do $1.2 million in 1 year with an extra boost to that. So we're working on it. We're going to know sometime, as soon as the state budget comes out, we'll know exactly. It's a formula that pretty much follows. Dunkirk benefits a little bit by being declared a hardship community. We get a little bit more help in that regard. We get CDBG funds, things like that. But eventually we would like to make it so that it's not a hardship community. We keep working on building it. And while I'm on that, if I could address the ball fields just a little bit, I'd like to just play a little bit on the golf analogy. I would say that our ball fields are not, in due respect, below par. I would say that they used to be maybe like your local par 3, and we would like to make them like Augusta National. They're not there yet, but they are good. And some of the work that we've done, we painted the fences. They're very, they look great defenses-wise. We put new dirt in the infields. I'd like to say the Parks Department and Recreation do really what they can. And the new LED lights at Promenschenkel are fantastic. If you go there and watch a night game, it's very exciting. So they're good, and can they be better? Sure, and we're excited to be working with this team to make them better. So thanks for letting me insert that.
So is there any way that we can reach out to the county for shared services on some of the county roads within the city to help us with repaving there?
The county does have to pave the county roads.
Right.
If Brigham Road needs to be repaved, it's all county. Central Avenue was the last county road to be repaved, and they did that a few years ago. Middle Road's another county road, Roberts Road's another county road. The county is completely responsible for the paving part. We're responsible for drainage, and we're also responsible for plowing those roads, but we get reimbursed from the county for doing that. So any place you see a county road, let me know, and I'll do the same kind of reach out as you asked me to do with the state. I appreciate that.
Thank you. And I know with the extreme weather changes that we've been having, our potholes are multiplying like crazy. And I don't know if you have I know it's an easy fix, but it's not an easy fix because it's not long lasting. So do you want to touch on that, how we can try to, I know avoid them, but if you avoid one, you've got 7 more that you're going to hit.
Yeah, these sudden changes in temperature and humidity are what cause the potholes to pop. And we have quite a few. And we will put in cold patch, which is a temporary, it'll last about a month if you do it right. And then we'll dig it out and put in the hot patch that'll last a good long time in the summertime. But the hot plant doesn't usually open up till about the 1st of April. So meanwhile, it's a patching, Band-Aid type of problem, and we'll address that as you see them.
Thank you. And everybody's talked about the lighting project, but I think Mike has been working on feverishly on how to save the city money on having the brackets and the armatures in-house made so that we can not have such a long wait.
Yeah, we manufactured them in-house and saved about $1,000 a piece on a dozen of them, so that was well worth it.
And they're better than factory.
Absolutely.
And they're almost completely rebuilt, right?
They are complete. As of Saturday, they were done.
Thanks.
Yep, no problem.
And one more thing is our 2023 curbside recycle calendar is out. The schedule is out. It was delivered to each individual household in the city of Dunkirk. If you've not received one, there's some available in the clerk's office, in the treasurer's office, and at the mailbox at the recycle center on Lucas Avenue. There's a mailbox there on the side where you go to recycle. It has all the do's and don'ts of what the city will and will not, the costs for bulk pickup, and everything is on here. Please keep this, do not throw it away. It has valuable information. And if you do have a question on recycling or curbside collection, I'm sure Edwin in the clerk's office or one of them, or you can call DPW at 366-9832, and they can answer any questions that you have concerning recycling, trash pickup, bulk pickup. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you. Randy and Mike, on your project that everybody's talked about on the lighting, I know it's been a long time, multitude of storms involved in that. I know lead times trying to get stuff fabricated. I know you guys put a lot of time and effort just to get back to this point. So, thank you. I know people are frustrated. I know it's been a long time coming, but unfortunately, today, it's a tough world to try to get stuff anytime soon. I get that, so.
Thank you for
But,
understanding.
yeah, thanks again for all your hard work. Okay, let's move on to unfinished business.
None, sir.
Okay, pre-filed resolution 11.
Number 11, resolution authorizing budget line modifications for fiscal year 2023.
Any discussion, council? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. New business, we go to walk-in, yes.
Walk-in resolution number 12, 2023, February 7th, 2023, by Councilmembers Bamanto, Lescoviac, Nichols, and Stoyl, authorizing professional services contract for the 4th of July fireworks display.
Thank you. I need a motion to allow the walk-in on.
So moved.
Nichols, seconded by Bomano.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. That's all we got. Can I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
I got Nichols with a seconded by Stoyl.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
What?
Wait.
What?
Councilmember
You
Lescoviac.
voted to accept the
Councilmember
walkout.
Bamanto.
You didn't vote.
Hold it, I got you. Okay. So we voted to bring the walk-on on. Now I need a motion to accept.
Thank you very much, I appreciate
Yep,
that.
gotcha. So I got a motion by Nichols. Did I get a second? Bomano.
Last I knew, we were out the door.
I know.
Anyway, Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried. Now could I have a motion for
Aye.
adjournment? Stoyl with a seconded by Nichols. All in favor?
This one is to leave?
This one, yes it
All right,
is.
Councilmember Lescoviac.
Aye.
Councilmember Bamanto.
Aye.
Councilmember Stoyl.
Aye.
Councilmember Nichols.
Aye.
Councilmember at-large D'Amico.
Aye, carried, we're adjourned.
Mayor's conference room, everyone, for the stadium.
We left him in the other room.